Spurs do the most Spur thing ever. Premier League ref gets suspended for calling Liverpool shit, and Manchester City are actually in freefall. This is the first time that a Pep Guardiola side has lost 4 consecutive games in a row. I used to pray for days like this, dog. Welcome back to Hatewatch, where we as football fans just want to watch the world burn. I'm your host, thefatasian, and before we get into the delectable week that was, first, go ahead and follow me on IG at thefatasianofficial. Let the bitches know. Trying to get to 5K for the end of the year. But before we get into all the goodness that happened across the pond, I want to give you a little bit of hater action from my home country, the good old US of A. Because MLS fans and Ronaldo fans, unite! Because everyone else's GOAT, Lionel Messi, was bounced out of the MLS playoffs, embarrassingly, in the first round. And you know that this gave all the Ronaldo truthers an unnaturally hard erection. Because them boys been starving for a while for some new Messi slander. Never mind that their king has yet to win the Saudi League. And unlike Messi, he's not even the best player in his league. Ooh, stings, doesn't it? Listen, I love Ronnie. I'm a Man United fan, but the proof is in the pudding. Homie started a YouTube channel. If that isn't a sign that he's preparing for the end, I don't know what is. He sees the writing on the wall, and I'm not even mad at him. It's a smart move. Just start it while you're still relevant, and look, his channel's blowing up. We see it all the time in American sports. Right as a great player enters the twilight of his career, boom, starts a podcast. Look at you, Draymond Green. As for Messi, the big question is, does this tarnish his illustrious career? And I would say, a little, if you're a real hater. Because 20 years from now, no one's going to remember he played in the MLS. The real losers in this event are the MLS and Apple. Because they're the ones who paid a dickload to get him over to America. And now their ratings are going to fucking crater. And all these dumb real MLS fans are like, yeah, good, he's out of the playoffs. Like, I get it, MLS fan, true MLS fan. You're happy that Messi is eliminated. But you really shouldn't be cheering. If you want the MLS to become a better product, to become a well-respected product for the world, you need eyeballs on it. Views are currency, bro. And the best thing for an American league is to gain some type of legitimacy. And unfortunately, you're going to need a little dog and pony show, little Messi Suarez action to kind of get there, or at least fast track yourself there. But who am I kidding? We're still a retirement league. And then for something completely different, we're going to go very quickly to the NBA. Stay with me, because this is going to be worth it. What you're about to witness is a game-winning shot. And I want to show this to my non-American brethren, because what you are witnessing is sports history. Because this is the first time in recorded history that a man has hit a game-winning shot over another man whom they share a baby mama. Yes, these two modern gladiators have sired sons from the same beautiful lass. When Brandon Ingram hit the final shot to win the game over Anthony Simmons, his teammates celebrated by saying this.
Yeah, twin. Tell her who better. Tell her who better.
Tell her who better is a wild thing to say after a game. And I knew that you as cultural sports fans would enjoy partaking in a little bit of sports history, so there you go. But enough of fooling around. Let's get to the Prem. And our first segment, of course, is going to be survival of the shittest. And we were eating good in the shit this week. Time for a pop quiz. In the most Spurs things to do before an international break, did they A, dismantle an excellent Villa side 4-1 last week? B, lose to a relegation fodder team this week? C, give Ipswich their first win since returning to the Premier League? Or D, all the above? Give you a little time to guess. Yeah, it's all above. Just how? How? Spurs are absolute proof that you can kill a man, but you can't kill the idea. Because it doesn't matter who their manager is. It's just in the DNA of the club. They are Jekyll and Hyde. Amazing one week and then complete shit the next. And it's every single season like clockwork. Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. But then, I would say to ownership, maybe don't hire a manager whose tactics aren't too dissimilar to a kamikaze pilot. High risk, all-out attack tends to lead to high variance in your results. And thus, you get the most Spursy result of the season so far. And it's glorious. And yes, Ipswich might be relegation fodder, but let me tell you, they got the sauce. Because after scoring a Robin Van Persie volley last week, they come up with a bicicleta, a fucking bicycle kick from the Castle Boys. Ipswich Town is styling on Spurs, and I'm here for it. And with this win, this carries them above the Premier League poverty line. Sorry, Crystal Palace, you're the ones now in the danger zone. And not to be outdone, Wolves got themselves their first win of the season as well, which means they are no longer rock bottom of the Premier League. Congratulations, a little bit of applause for them. Thank you. Yes. They are now second to bottom of the league. But, progress. And then, let's talk about refs disgracing themselves. We have the curious case of the Premier League ref, David Coote. That's how you say his name. But this poor son of a bitch got caught in 4K saying that Liverpool was shit and that Jurgen Klopp was a And every pundit and their mama are saying like, oh my god, this is a disgrace. He has to be fired immediately. Referees cannot be seen to be having any type of bias. Even though we all know that that's bullshit. And in fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the full video.
So what did you think of the Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official? Liverpool was shit.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Absolutely.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a
Aside from having a right pop at me when I ref them against Burnley in lockdown, then he accused me of lying, and then just had a right fucking pop at me, and I've got no interest in speaking to somebody who's fucking arrogant. So I do my best not to speak to him. Milner's alright. I get on with so
James Milner? You get on with James Milner.
So what a lot of these pundits will not tell you is that he wasn't asked how he feels about Liverpool. He was asked specifically how he felt about Liverpool in a game that he was the fourth official. And to that, he said they're shit. Did he mean that generally? Or more likely, did he mean it about the game that he was the ref in? And then when asked about Jurgen Klopp, he called him a Seems pretty damning until he's asked to clarify why he said such a thing. And he says it's because of the one time that Klopp had to go at him during lockdown, and another time when he accused him of being a liar. So dude was in his feelings and just being honest, and now he's gonna get fired for it, which is kind of weird to think about. Like, what we're essentially asking refs to do is lie to us so that we can keep up this illusion about the game that we love to watch. That's kind of backwards, right? Now the other point that people are bringing up on why he should be fired is that this is a colossally stupid thing to say in front of a camera. And the pundits are going on about it like, oh, how could he do this? What in his mind possessed him to say such a thing? And I mean, the answer is quite obvious. Like, just look at the video. This man is coked out of his mind. In fact, they're all coked out of their mind. The friend got coked up, thought this was a good idea to film it, thought it was funny, and then probably forgot about it when he sobered up. And now this man is going to lose his job because the coke made him a little bit too honest, and his words are kind of being taken out of context. So the lesson here, kids, is don't do drugs. And honestly, like thinking about it, what if this ends up swinging the title for Liverpool? What ref for the rest of the season is not going to give preferential treatment to Liverpool because of what this guy said? They kind of have to now. So if Liverpool actually end up winning the league this year, remember who gifted it to them? Cocaine. Speaking of Liverpool, they had a nervy dismantling of Aston Villa. And most of the match felt like two counterpunchers just kind of circling each other, waiting for the other one to make a mistake. But Liverpool is just kind of built different. Like, it's tough playing the counterattacking game when you're playing the best counterattacking team in the league, arguably the world. I mean, just watch them. Watch Salah, Diaz, and Nunez when they win the ball. The instant the ball is won, they set off like a pack of raptors shot out of a cannon, just eating up grass like they're in Jurassic Park. And they are terrifying, yet majestic to watch. Darwin Nunez gave us the full Darwin Nunez experience. He completes a brilliant counter for the opening goal, the control with his first touch, and then to lift the ball over the excellent Emi Martinez, all the while running at a full sprint. This is a true world-class striker's finish. And then proceeds to miss every easy chance that he gets for the rest of the game. Classic Darwin roulette. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. And then we have to talk about Mo Salah, who is just unplayable at the moment. He was integral to the first goal and seals it for Liverpool with the second. And if this is his final season, it's one hell of a swan song. The same might not be able to be said about one Pep Guardiola. Is this truly the downfall of Manchester City? Was Rodri really the linchpin of this squad all along? Has Pep just been carried by Ballon d'Or winners for the entirety of his career? That's the easy narrative. So easy in fact that ESPN actually went with this hacky shit. Look at this thumbnail. Is this the beginning of the end for Pep Guardiola? Come on, you're better than this. This type of clickbait I expect from YouTubers with 300 subs. Not by a company owned by Disney. You got the fucking mouse behind you. You could do better. Bro, whoever's running ESPN's YouTube page, go younger. Go like 2 generations younger. But this is significant. This is the first time Pep has lost 4 consecutive games in a row in the entirety of his career. I think this is the first time Manchester City have lost 2 consecutive Premier League games in a row in like over a decade. And I am here for it. And everybody's asking, so what's wrong? What's wrong with Man City? And you don't need a 45-minute podcast to pick out the issue. Pretty simple. The team is actually mortal. Half of their first team is hurt. Rodri is a one-of-a-kind CDM, and they're missing Ruben Diaz and John Stones, their 2 preferred center backs. They have a defensive issue. Gavardiol, Simpson Pousset, Enrico Lewis, they're just not working well as a unit right now. They're leaving gaps, and teams are taking advantage of it. And Brighton are a good team. They put 2 past them, and Man City can only find 1, and that was it. This is definitely a little bit of a wobble. Their second Premier League loss in a row, and this is my favorite part of the match. Erling Haaland does the classic, well, I'm not going to win on the scoreboard. I'm going to win on the pitch, and just crashes out by tossing a poor Brighton player aside. But I think once Ruben Diaz and John Stones get healthy, they'll be fine. My only concern is if they're not careful, they can't steady the ship soon enough, maybe, just maybe, Liverpool stretch out that lead to something that's borderline insurmountable. I mean, they are 5 points clear right now. And if you open that window, the slut boys over in Liverpool, they might just start believing that, you know, maybe they're destined this year. And as I said earlier, if the refs start giving them a lot more of these 50-50 calls because they feel like they have to after this David Coote shit, I don't know. I'm just saying, how do you stay motivated? You won the Premier League 4 seasons in a row. You've already won the treble. Phil Foden has like 4 kids. What is your motivation? How How do you stay hungry if you are Man City? And maybe most importantly about this loss is that it comes right before the international break, which means 2 weeks, 2 beautiful weeks where we can go ahead and shit on Man City's chest. All the Man City and Pep Guardiola haters, we're just gonna give them a good old Cleveland steamer for 2 weeks. Kids, don't look that up. But I like this, you know? Make the Man City fans sweat a little bit. Plant that seed of doubt. I mean, there's only like 10 Man City fans that we can shit on, but you know, rib them a little. Now, when Man City's loss will take all the headlines, what's kind of lost into this is that besides Liverpool, no one took advantage of this, really. Once again, Arsenal fucking bottle it. They drew 1-1 with Chelsea. And honestly, if Robert Sanchez actually knew how to use his arms, they'd probably lose this game. Also, shout out to Neto for this fucking trace around of a goal. Jesus. How does a man this little have a nuclear reactor in his foot? But yeah, missed opportunity for both of them. Then we had Man United win 3-0. Garnacho scores a banger. And Ruud van Nistelrooy will go ahead and retire as Man United manager with a record of 3 wins and 1 draw, following in the footsteps of Michael Carrick as 2 servants of the club who came back to manage them and held an undefeated record. Maybe Ollie should have quit while he was ahead. But yeah, now with the international break, we begin the Ruben Amorim era at Old Trafford. And I'm sure when we get back, if he wins a couple of games, Man United fans won't just go, oh, balls deep, and crown him the new Sir Alex Ferguson. But, you know, I'm sure we'll be logical. I'm sure we'll keep all our hopes and dreams realistic. And yeah, that was pretty much it this week. But before I go, there's one last thing that I have to say. And that is a big ol' fuck you to the Israeli fans that went to Amsterdam, because y'all were an absolute fucking disgrace. Whistling and shooting fireworks during the moment of silence for Valencia flood victims, chanting songs celebrating their genocide of the Palestinian people as they walked into the stadium, and then terrorizing innocent homes, tearing down Palestinian flags. And then to have the audacity to go and celebrate it at a UEFA away game. It is comical how fucking ignorant you guys can be. And predictably, the streets took justice into their own hands. And I want to be clear, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I'm probably going to get demonetized for saying this, saying the truth. But listen, Trump got reelected. Let's see how much free speech I really have. Speaking of Trump, I'll be back next week with a clueless non-Americans guide to the 2024 election. Oh yeah. We're getting a little spicy. A little bit spicy on the channel, just for the international break. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, go ahead, smush your hard right nipple on the like button right now. Only takes you a second, but helps me infinitely in this godforsaken algorithm. Of course, I'd like to go ahead, thank all my patrons, keeping me alive and well. I'd like to give a personal thank you to the newest member of the GOAT tier. Thank you, Valente Vasquez. And of course, shout outs to all the OG GOATs. We got Elm, Robert Matai, Peter Barr, the Fat Austrian, Mo Vidocq, and of course, the double GOAT, Sandra Jeremy. Thank you to Lewis and Alex for helping me out of this video. And yeah, until next week, boys. Later.